Well, we're here at the farm this morning. We're getting ready to get more of the field planted. I've got to get Dad's 60 fired up. I've had the battery on the charger, so we're going down to the lower barn and de-winterize it and bring it up here. Right now I have a dilemma as Dad's golf cart's broke down, so I'm going to have to use the next best thing. For the time being, I'm gonna have to turn this into my golf cart. It's about the same size. Well, this is good. We got hornets trying to make a nest here somewhere. We'll get in this thing, get this thing out of here. Let's see if it fires up. Contact, fuel, retard. Oh. Get out of here. We'll make a nest in you. I like this golf cart better, I think. Note to self, need a cameraman. There, I got my handy dandy Barrett battery carrier. Who says fenders are useless? Oh, escape artist. Get back in there. Yeah, I see your escape route. Stupid goats. Get Dad's 60 hour machine shed. Let's put the brake cement first. Alright, now that I got some more antifreeze loaded up, go back here and fill this sucker up. Alright, now I got a gallon of water. I tried to mix it 50-50 because it's 100%. See if I can do this while holding a camera. Not without making a mess. experienced my first Model A problem. Broken door latch spring. Oh boy. Now she runs. It's a hydraulic system filled, so that's ready to go. Oh, clean drain pan. That's new. Let's see here. Oh boy. Yeah. Uh-oh. Somebody likes silicone. Alright, now let's take the drain plug out. Oh boy. Yeah, I say I know where the fuel went. I'll explain that here in a minute. No. That unhooked. Oh, yeah, camera friendly clutch. So we're up here today. Dad's plowing in the field. I switched him out from the A to the 60. He kind of needed a wider tire and some power steering. It was kind of beating him up a little bit. Dad hasn't been the best of health, but some of that is he just needs to get off his butt. So if you're wondering why I'm making him plow the field, it's because he's got to do something. Laying around in bed all day being depressed ain't gonna cut it. So we got him out here in the field today and getting him back out of his mopiness. Well, let's see how the 60's doing. He's getting ready to come back this way, so I'm gonna try to get some footage. I'd like to get some drone footage, but you know, somebody killed my drone and I've never seen it since, so here we are. So let's get looking at Dad and see what this 60 looks like coming across the field. You ever wonder why I can't keep gravel around here? Here it is. So doing all right?
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Oh, kind of sore.
Oil pressure seems to be maintaining.
Yeah.
Good.
Forget which side to get off of.
I mean, it's different from the A. Well, today we're gonna look at Dad's 60 that he bought last year. It's got fan shaft wobbling problems, so I gotta take a look at it and see how far I gotta tear this thing down or what I gotta do to fix it. Yeah. So what we're having here is some sort of play, so I'm gonna pull this cover off right here and try to take a look in there and see what we got going on. Enough paint on these bolts to kill a chicken. That's not good. Well, that ain't good. I don't know why the fan shaft's all sloppy. Probably because the bearings are all shot in it. Looks like something's been raining in this thing. So here's the bearing. Yay. Alright, well, we've kind of come to a stop on the 60 here. This is the one Dad bought last year and probably shouldn't have. When we got there, the carburetor was messed up and he wanted to go ahead and purchase it. He did. And then we've had problems with the fan shaft this year. And what we realized is, yeah, the oiler tube that oils the governor gearbox has got an issue down inside somewhere where it's not pumping oil up. So On top of that, it looks like there's been moisture inside this tractor and it's chewed the bearings up. Chewed the bearings up in the governor box. This is the race out of one of them, and it's hit. So I have to make a decision here. So do I strip this one apart, pull the pistons, jug, cylinder head, valve cover, and all that stuff off and transplant it into Dad's old 60 and use this one for parts? Or do I put a head gasket on the old 60 and try to bubble gum it together to get us through? Or do I strip two tractors apart and make one out of two? As of right now, I'm not sure which way I'm gonna go. So I got some thinking to do. I'm gonna start getting the garage cleaned up. As you can see, I got the GP fired up and got it backed out. And I'm gonna get this place cleaned up so I can get both the tractors in here and start stripping them down and trying to make a decision on what to do. If any of you ever wonder why the shop's such a mess, it's because, yeah, I've got a lineup that comes in that door and leaves out that door, and it's constant. It's either me doing jobs to pay bills or keeping the farm going. At this point, I'm gonna get the shop cleaned up, get both the tractors pulled in here, and figure out what I'm gonna do. So, yeah, I'm either gonna pull this one apart and use it for parts and fix that one. The other thing about this is the transmission's been busted. And that's another thing. Here, let me show you here. So down in here, yeah, tractor pulling. So I have to make a decision, and I'm gonna pull some more inspection covers off and see what kind of condition this transmission's actually in. Because if the transmission's looks anything like this, yeah, we're in trouble. And you can even see the thrust washer in there. It has no lubricant on it. So for some reason, there's a tube that comes off in the crankcase here, comes up and oils this assembly up here, and it comes right off the oil pump. And apparently something has happened to that. So one way or another, I'm gonna have to pull the governor housing off and get down inside the crankcase and find out what's going on. Yeah, and then on top of that, we had the, this thing operates, this is the fuel. So it operates off oil pressure. So once you crank it and oil pressure comes up, it turns this valve on or shuts it off. And when that leaks, it leaks fuel into the crankcase and dumps it down inside the crankcase, which is why I had to change oil in the beginning of this video, is because that had happened. So I plumbed the oil pressure line back into itself and cut that off. So now all I have to do is turn this valve to shut the fuel off, which is fine. The other way is a little bit more convenient, but you know, we're gonna take what we can get. We're almost done plowing, but we still got a lot of disking and everything else to do. And Dad likes to have the power steering, so we'll see what I can manage, but this is gonna be a whole lot. It's a whole lot. As you can see, in order to pull this off, I gotta pull that off, I gotta pull that off, I gotta pull the connecting rods off. I can leave the pistons in the jug and transport this whole assembly over to the other 60 and slide it into its frame rails and basically change half the engine without doing a whole lot, except for lifting a giant piece of casting off that's sandwiched in the middle of castings. Yeah, it's a lot, but this is some of what we gotta do around here. And then, yeah, this whole assembly, the hydraulic pump is right there for the rear. That's all gonna come off. Yeah, there's a lot. The intake, the whole hood, fuel, the steering shaft, power steering pump, brackets, fan, radiator. I mean, this thing has to get stripped completely down to just transmission and case. So, yeah, I got a lot to do. So, for right now, I'll have some more video of stripping down the 60 and the other 60 and probably making 2 out of 1, I would imagine. We'll know more once I get into them and get them in here and get them lined up and get this shop cleaned up a little bit. But right now I got to hot-foot it over to my brother's and take care of that mess. So stay tuned. Just a reminder to please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And thank you guys for watching.